Welcome to Better with Art. I'm Melinda and I'm here to encourage you. That's Tobias. I guess we are both here to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and establish a healthy habit of creative self-care with weekly small art prompts that can be done in an art journal or on paper if you don't have one.
If you are looking for a journal, you can check the description for my top recommendation and for some new ones I will be trying out in the coming weeks.
An important thing to consider when purchasing an art journal, or as some call them, sketchbooks, even when they're not just for drawing sketches. That took me a little while to get over, but for simple art, is not to get a traditional sketchbook. You will want mixed media or watercolor paper, and it has to be quite heavy. The journal I typically use in my videos and for an art journaling group at the library where I work is 140 pound, 300 GSM. If you're looking at watercolor papers, you will notice hot press and cold pressed. Apparently Tobes hadn't heard of that first either. I know when I first started looking at papers, when I got back into a regular practice, I know the difference between hot pressed and cold pressed. I do know that I really like the texture of cold pressed. The difference, I guess I should just let him be on camera for a second. This is Tobias. Tobias is very shy, but you wouldn't know that right now. Hot pressed versus cold pressed. What really helped me when I first got on this journey of reclaiming my creativity and making art a regular habit is that cold press has more texture, which goosebumps stuck with me. You can also remember that hot press is smooth, like it's been ironed. I hope you've caught the first two Better with Art videos and have had a chance to express your chaos with acrylic paint and then bring some order to it, and that you've let go of perfection and embraced imperfection with blind contour drawing.
If you couldn't relax in blind contour drawing, I encourage you to try again. But I will also say that this week is about letting go while enjoying every stroke and swirl of watercolor.
And adding details as creatively as you'd like. For those of you who love them on the 52-week art journal journey, I am pleased to say we are bringing back watercolor blobs this week. I try to use easily accessible, inexpensive materials because reclaiming your creativity doesn't have to cost a lot of money. I did take a bit of a step up on my watercolors, and we'll see how Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby compares to Gravity Crayola, which I have loved but struggled with at times, more the longer I have each set, and ones from Dollar General. Both have been unkind to my micron pens and even my Sharpies at times. If you're using the cheapest watercolors, which I have been, it may be safest to use a pencil. If you notice the surface of your dried paint looks shiny or grainy. But let's get into the surprisingly gratifying relaxation of watercolor blobs.
Spray bottles are an ideal tool for wetting paint. Had very little awareness of where my hand was in the video, obviously. This first bunch of blobs was basically just playing with my new colors and seeing what they looked like. I had no plan for what I was going to do with these blobs. Unlike when I made my pumpkins last year for the 52-week art journal journey, this blob I decided to put in a second color. And next I decided to lay down water and then drop color into it. Not my best experience with this technique, but we're just having fun, and adding water drops to the paint was fun also. I have to say, the watercolor blob pumpkins are still one of my favorite projects from 2023. Have some fun making blobs. Don't worry about anything but making blobs. Take your time, unlike this speeded up video. As I mentioned, I did not expect watercolor blob painting to be so relaxing and therapeutic. I may have forgotten to hit record, but check out the fun effect of a drier brush. I decided in my next go-round that I would do straight-up swatches of each of the colors, which does make for kind of a boring layout, but that's okay. If just making lines of blobs makes you happy, relaxes you, gets you into flow, do that. I did run out of color, but that is okay because color mixing. If you caught my 52-week art journal journey fall color videos, you know that mixing complementary colors together can have interesting effects. They can sort of cancel each other out or mute each other, tone each other down. So that would be red and green, yellow and purple, orange and blue. Mixing these colors together, none of which were a pure red, yellow, or blue, created some interesting colors. So along with swatching, another suggestion for your watercolor blobs is color mixing. And I may have taken that color mixing thing to a whole new level and then just kept running with it. And that's okay. Have fun with making watercolor blobs. And have fun making your watercolor blob something, like the pumpkins from last year's 52-week art journal journey. Or maybe you see a fruit this year. Or you just get creative and it morphs into faces. There were spiders with faces last year. And mushrooms without faces. Use any type of mark making you would like. Is it just me? Or have these started looking rather fruit-like? There is no limit on how you can extend your creative self-care art-making time, embellishing your watercolor blobs. You can be as creative as you'd like. This reminds me of a geode. I would love to see what you come up with. If you decide to share with others on Instagram to encourage them to reclaim their creativity and establish a healthy habit of creative self-care, tag me, better.with.art. Or to both extend each week's theme in an email and receive a link to join the very small but slowly growing private and encouraging Facebook group, sign up at the link in the description. I'll be back next week with another Better with Art creative self-care small art prompt. Give a thumbs up if you are going to play with watercolor blobs. Share with someone else you know could use some encouragement to take time to make art and be reminded it's not a waste of time. And subscribe so you don't miss any new prompt or other creative self-care content.